It's a very good morning. Hey, what's up, brother? Let's go. Itai, how you doing, man? Quest and Lee, Will and Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know how it goes. Glad you're ready to get started. Haven't been doing a lot of trading last week. There's been a lot of good signals for me, and I'm glad because market's been kind of just pulling back a little tiny bit. And I didn't take any substantial losses, which is good. Morning, family. What's up? Hit that lower DD band on Nasdaq already. I keep an eye out there. Possible irrational moves today. Russell and S&P look kind of normal. Too worried about those. Obviously, we've entered earnings season. You know how that goes. Today, after market Tesla, big questions there. Everything is coming through with surprise good earnings around the clock. Like everything. The reason for that, we talked about that. We predicted that a quarter ago. Laying off all that non-essential work, you realize how non-essential they really were. Oh, paying someone double their salary to surf Reddit and occasionally go to a Zoom call. You let those folks go, your bottom line is going to look amazing. Companies are shining out the door. Forward guidance doesn't look so good, though, which is all that really matters. Because everybody knows next earnings season is going to be bad. How do you know that? We'll stick around. We'll teach you a little bit today. Is there a guide on MM yet? What do you mean? We have a whole guide on Rocket Scooter. There's a whole handbook. Oh, monthly maps. Here I am. I'm like, thinking you were talking about Market Maker. There's a couple videos. We're going to continue to make them. Like we didn't get to it yesterday. We're gonna do what we can do it today though. We can do a new one today. All right. So we need to make a new triple B. This is one of the things we do need to make sure we do really quick. Keep in mind how this works. All right, we are back. Let's do this really quick. There's the April number. Go ahead. The May number. Sorry. Oh, come on, buddy. Roll into new contract. VIX options have expired this morning for the month. And we've rolled over a new futures contract here. So look quickly at the DD bands coming forward. We're at lower DD band here on Nasdaq. Let's be careful there. Right? I'm going to watch on this. So the market's already kind of achieved this goal, just like that's already achieved that goal. We can look for some moves out the door, see if we can find anything good. Market does open in 1 minute, so I'm going to get ready here. All my stuff loaded up. Haven't made a trade in my 10K account to 100K account, same as this one. So I'm doing the same trade. So in like 2 or 3 days. So just because things have looked a little kind of meh on the markets, I've been getting signals that I do like. Okay, out the door resilience is looking solid. Let me go here, main screen here. Got that Nasdaq resilience kind of looking meh today. Keep our eyes on that. Liquidity maps getting ready to come through. Go ahead and DD bands up, ready to go. Get that. All right, we got a bear long up right out the door. Let's take a look. Bear long up with positive resilience. We are opening right here near the bottom. In between these two hedge pressures, which is really good. Remember the other day, if markets stay rational, positive resilience can push us through hedge pressure to fill the gap that way. Be a good setup to take a quick long out the door. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. The new triple V is 1826. These are my candle data going on here. What's up, guys? Smash that like button if you can. There it is. All right, looking at some of the things right out the door. Disney, Cisco. Look at these candles kind of coming through. I do like what I see. Resilience being positive, which is good. Supporting, as long as we stay positive. Watch out, we do have that discrepancy here. So keep an eyeball on NASDAQ today. We're gonna make sure that divergence isn't causing a problem. So let's take a look at liquidity maps right here. Let's go ahead and bear short up. You have in between the two hedge pressures as possible pivots. So supporting monthly hedge. Everybody got to make sure you watch what's going on here. Just keep an eyeball out, because supporting monthly hedge or losing monthly hedge could be very bearish as a sentiment change, and let's keep an eyeball on that one. We're going to put our kind of DD bands are going to be right there as well. We've already touched the lower DD band, so the DD ratio coming in for the rule to tap one side or the other is not going to likely be a thing. The markets are irrational. I'm going to look for this strong enough to go to the bull side again. Be a nice little bull up. I'm going to take like maybe a little bit of a long off of something. Let's make sure I get a little bit of a bounce before I do it, though. Certainly, like, things are looking good. Trading inside of there, I do want to take it. All right, jumped in long on my big account. This funded account, you have to make sure this is the ETF thing. I make sure I got to really hit off of a support there. But things are looking good. Like I said, these resiliences are right on the edge. You can be very careful. We are SPY hedge break to the upside. This is not. Let me double check this. Let me see, my platform is. Oh, I'm on QQQ. I was wondering what was going on. I was like, where's the hedge break? Here we go. Yep, so keep an eye out on SPY hedge break here today. These resiliences just kind of collapse on themselves. So be very careful here. This candle. And a little. So that's going to support off of the lower band here. So be very careful. The resilience is negative, means we likely only trade a half gap. So even if I do put a little bit of an order on there, let's go small. Okay. Even if the resilience is negative, half gap becomes the resistance. So you need to be very careful there. You got two competing things. Half gap is resistance, right? And then you have DD is very positive and actually increasing. So the idea that that SPY will actually go through, create a hedge pressure break, and ultimately end up in the bull zone to retrace a lot of yesterday's down move is highly possible today. So I do like that. I do like that possibility. It's looking pretty solid. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the stream, you guys. All our friends. These resiliences start to move higher. So everything's gapped down and staying low. You gotta see if this recovers itself. So basically, resilience being below 0 means half gap is resistance inside the box. So we're kind of stuck here for a little bit. ultimately this is either going to deteriorate or the SPY is going to want to make its way to the top. I'm going to err to the side of the bull market, and the short squeeze is still strong. After a little bit of kind of being around, remember we are rational, so resilience can have a little bit of a delayed effect as the index products are moving before the stock. So let's see if the index is possibly doing that, and let's see if resilience recovers itself. Resilience goes above 0. This is a solid up run-up day. So let's take something really small. I really need to get this account moving a little bit forward. I do like what I see. All right, let's take a look on the scanner. If anything comes up today, we're looking at some stocks here that are kind of in the bad side of stuff. Illiquidity pockets is going to be movers. I'm looking for, Tesla's got earnings today, so I think the market's going to probably caution itself a little bit, especially Tesla hitting the top of monthly hedge pressure. If anything, there's probably a little bit of limited upside in Tesla as well. Some of the bigger caps are going to move slightly higher. Watch out for these hedge breaks can create a squeeze issue to the upside. Like I said, some of the stocks like Tesla, I usually like to short against monthly hedge pressure if there is that resistance there. And that all depends on how you feel about Tesla. Now, personally, I'm going to go ahead and err to the side of this has earnings. I'm not going to touch it today. But looking at illiquidity pockets, these are your runners. These are the ones that have the ability to move very fast while resilience is melting. Very careful here. Let me go ahead and change the scanner and look for half gap breaks. Half gap breakdown. Let's look for these and try to find some big actors here. Something that's just moved really quick. And let's go ahead and set up a custom range that's going to look for stocks that are just greater than 10 bucks. Remove penny stocks from the mix. Distance to half gap. Okay, so stocks are on the edge here. Let's see what Costco looks like. How are you guys doing today? Y'all doing anything special in your lives? You having a good week? Having a good trading week? How's life? How's the family? How are the pets? I'll drink my coffee real quick. You have an interview in 20 minutes? Oh. Are you doing the interviewing or are you the interviewee? Travis going to the Walmart later today? I love going to the Walmart. That was a favorite. That was a family favorite growing up. We would do that multiple times a week. We also used to have a Kmart across the street from a Walmart. You guys remember Kmart's? Got your QT gift card this morning. Oh, nice. Your little one is a real Ninja Warrior at 18 months old. Man, that's a great age. Not fully fully sleeping yet. Sleeping through the night. How is it having an 18-month-old? Super Kmart. Oh, Super Kmart. Matt B knows Halo. A little Halo later, possibly. I have a busy day. I've got meetings until like 5 o'clock. As soon as I'm done here. Oh, got so many things. So many things going on. It's crazy. Let's get Visa really quick. I'm trying to look for things that are moving, slightly moving higher. Trying to push to half gap. So things that are right on the edge of half gap. Resilience is melting, which means half gap is going to have a hard time finding a little momentum to move. Let's just double check some of the others. I haven't looked at IWM yet. It's pretty clean today, but the thing about it though, you are below monthly hedge pressure. So what I ideally would like to see a hedge break in IWM to continue the upward momentum. That DD is strong. Today's gonna be a really weird day because you have strong DD, weak resilience. We always know DD outranks resilience, but it doesn't mean it's not going to take some time to fight there. DD ultimately can lose in multiple instances of irrational market. DD typically, is the winner between the two contests. But anything, said anything, markets are random. So not everything's 100%. Keep an eye on this. Resisting and rejecting in this area. Just be very careful with IWM being bear structure for the day. So ideally, you want to see if IWM has hedge pressure break, you're going to see a little run up. So it's something I'm going to keep an eyeball out on that, but it is looking very weak, clearly below hedge pressure monthly. QQQ is hitting that upper hedge pressure like you would expect to see on a bear short up. If everybody pulls up your liquidity maps, you'll see that your pressures between your two hedge and monthly hedge pressures are the real deal. There's the resistance. We're going to look for the support there. If this finds lower lows down at 316, be careful because we'll be irrational at that point. This is about where the DD band is. With earnings today, especially Tesla earnings, and earnings looking pretty kind of mixed bag as far as the reactions go, it's going to be hard to think that the market's going to move pre-Tesla earnings too far either direction. Tesla is opening with bear structure, though, so it could still drift a little lower. Like I said, I just took a very small stab at it. Why? Just because I like the way the S&P is looking for a potential hedge pressure break to the upside. Plus, I have a really tight stop. It's not really hard to manage this one. So with DD being positive, like always, I still tell myself I want that thing to move higher, and I'm gonna hopefully I can get it. So looking pretty okay there. As all the stocks have particularly gapped down in the overnight. We're going to wait to see. So clearly the stocks are trying to move somewhat higher. I'm going to look for things that have broken down to the downside. So these are stocks that are pushing down. So now that we're below, let's look for some stocks. I was just trying to see if any big stocks have gapped down or broke below. And the answer is not really any. And let me look for monthly hedge pressure break up. So the other thing, hedge pressure break up, is we're looking for stocks that are going to cross through the half gap. And these are going to be ones that are going to create that momentum inside of resilience. So we're going to do a half gap, this cool scanner trick. And all the big dogs are sitting there right on the edge. Apple, literally right on the edge. So even with Apple being positive, resilience is not. There's other stocks that are kind of affecting it. So Apple is having a really strong sensitivity to it. You see Apple's moving through its half gap. Res is really responding to that. So let's keep an eye out once right on the edge. Meta. Starbucks. That's cool, Lee. That's cool, man. Setting up a good sleep schedule is definitely the way to do it. All right, so let's look at when we had earnings yesterday. We had pretty decent earnings, like surprises. But these are basically because people underestimated, how non-essential some of the laid off employees were. Very easy to see that we were laying off employees from most companies. There were 4 waves of layoffs. You can see in the financial data, which by the way, tomorrow is Thursday. On the economic calendar, you'll know on Thursdays, you always get these employment reports come through. So get tomorrow, you will see that you'll have the initial jobless claims, the 4-week average continued jobless claims. The initial jobless claims has 3 stars next to it to show you how important it is. But the continuing jobless claims tells the bigger story this time around. Initial jobless claims are going to be people that just got laid off. You tend to file unemployment right when you just get laid off without hesitation. No interruption in your paycheck. As you see on my screen, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you a quickie little tour here. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 waves of layoffs. Some of it's seasonal, but in reality, you can see that we had 3 waves of non-essential layoffs. The market stalled, and all of a sudden, things are starting to get really bad in the economy. There's a 4th wave brewing, and we've been seeing some reports of high forecasts as it's been getting higher and higher and higher. Essential employees are getting laid off, and there's other companies announcing big layoffs coming through. The bigger data point to see the brewing problem that's now coming to fruition or becoming more fruitful in its brewing badge. Let me make a beer reference here. All right, so continuing. These are people that can't get the jobs back. Those first 3 waves, you can see that the total amount of continuing claims have been still in decline. So people get laid off, get their jobs back when this number comes down. They get laid off, get their jobs back. After a couple of weeks, they go back to work. Right now, they're not able to find jobs. The jolts are coming down, so jobs are less available, and these people want too much money for it. This is the growing problem that's slowing down the economy. So when you laid off people, and they systemically stayed laid off, layoffs are traditionally bullish on the front end for the market. It might seem little counterintuitive, but you can see that the surprises are massive. It's because if your production, you've stockpiled months or weeks of product, whatever, and you just laid off people today. The effect of that on production is not going to be seen for a while. You have inventory they've already made, you have all that stuff and being pushed through, and so you don't see effects immediately when layoffs happen. So just because they're announced, people know that typically you lay off non-essential first, people who don't really make a lot for what you pay them. And after you do that, your bottom line looks better. And the bottom line, look how great earnings are coming across, like solid green across the board. But stocks are having a mixed response. And this is because earnings, the number comes out, everybody knows it's going to be good. That's not the thing we're looking for. It's the forward guidance. It's them talking about what they expect next quarter. You laid off a bunch of non-essential people now. Your productivity is low, new orders are down, supplies are down, whatever. It's going to be reflected in the next earnings season. Everybody knows next earnings season is going to be garbage. That's why the stocks are all over the place as far as the reaction goes. Very violent. Netflix had a beat. Oh, it was down. Bank of America had a beat. Oh, it's up. Johnson & Johnson had a beat. Oh, it's down, right? So it has to do with the forward guidance. So all you have to see is what people expect coming in the future. Just keep an eye out on that. What else you guys doing today? Why does your RS get stuck on a chart? You have to reload the entire page and go through settings again. Move the Edge project. You don't have to go through settings to do anything. We are engineering optimization projects. Now, let's tell you, it probably, there's two things. When you say something's stuck, you know, as a programmer, I can say two things. Either it's stuck on our end or it's stuck on your end. So the first thing you should troubleshoot is everything on your end. Not sure what's going on your edge. So the easiest way to start is to go delete the cache, clear all the cookies, empty your local storage, everything. Start your browser from scratch. See if that dislodges whatever's happening. Everybody's computer is different. You can have pop-up blockers, or your CPU could be bogging down. Something could be going on your end. The part that would happen with our end would be that we have server comms that are slow. It's not freezing up on mine. Sometimes it'll occasionally will. And like I said, we have optimization projects that we are trying to implement to continue to improve. We've just expanded so fast. It's just could be a remnant of that. So we'll look into some things. But send me some pictures if you have any issues. You still can't figure it out, but try to reset your settings. I don't know what you're doing in settings, but if you go, you only have to reset the default one time. If you're trying to like restore everything, but I would clear out your cookies and all that stuff and start over. That should help. Hopefully that helps you, bud. But give it a shot later today and see if it works. Took a short off hedge first and QQQ for a quick scalp. Oh, nice. Am I in a funded account yet in this? The elite is not the fun. It's funded, but it's not like the last step of their funding. They call elite like the second step. You get paid, but it's not it's not what they call live. Live is the last step. So they basically have like two steps. This is the middle one. So this one you just indefinitely trade and you keep your profits and you get paid on a certain schedule. Interesting on MHP holding sitting on QQQ. I would be very surprised if MHP broke on a big earnings day like today, unless somebody knew something. What's going on with Tesla? Be interesting to see some hedge breaks manifest here. Well, this resilience is starting to deteriorate further, so it's gonna have a hard time finding momentum to break through. I want to see resilience start to move higher. There's just too many stocks on that downside. When you keep Apple on the breakup, I like to see that. Like these stocks like Apple finally moving through. That's adding a little bit to resilience, but as you can tell, there's enough that's breaking down that's not really creating any upward movement. So there's a lot of ups and downs today. Simon Dean, they I don't know what Express is. Tell me what that is. Oh, oops. Did I push the wrong button here? Here we go. Looking good. Simon Dean. Yeah, that's correct. That's how it works. At least that's how I was told it works. So then that is exactly right. So we haven't had like a good banger signal where all things point up. That's why I can't really come in with trying to swing a home run on this. I've been taking it really cautious on this one. Signals aren't changing. Resilience is deteriorating a little bit. I'm trying to just find any idea. So we're just going to have to wait this one out. SPY sitting in between the two. Looks like a bear short up. Everybody pull up your liquidity maps. You know how to get this. This is all from the Discord or from your dashboard and rocket scooter. I'm going to match bear long up, bear short up. You can see they're going to have the same effect. Bear short up is going to be pressing between the two hedge pressures. A bear long up would be what happens if this breaks and goes to next resistance. You take this guy and stack it on top of here. You can see that you can match these two. There's another potential break. Now, we didn't open above here. The black dot is open. So we're trading in between here. There's going to be resistances. So any breakthrough here, we'll look for a next resistance to the upside. So any breakthrough here, the next resistance is there. If I can get a scalp, just a half cap, if resilience looks kind of booty, then that's okay. This is showing that there's no potential right now for this to rally today to break out the highs. But there is that gamble expectation that we are pre-earnings, that we can revert to mean. I ideally would like to see that to be a setup. And if we do get that break to there and no higher, right? Because resilience is greater than 0. So that's obviously resistance up here. The monthly gamma is likely to hold. This, we've got expiration in 2 days, so be very careful on that, or tomorrow, I guess. Typically, if you do break through monthly hedge pressure before expiration, it will collapse. So don't get caught up in a collapse. It's very common for hedge pressure monthly to connect with price when you get very close to expiration. This is an effect of the Greeks. And so by being so close, its proximity of a break is much closer, so the probability could go up that it will interact with it. Not saying the probability will go up, it'll break. That's just a result of people liquidating before the monthly expiration. Yeah, so in bear short up, you get these like moves like this, right? Looking for that. And the S&P, I'd say DD's like close to there. I was hoping for resilience to be somewhat stronger, that would push higher, but let's keep an eye out for some issues here. Now, keep in mind, when you interact with monthly hedge pressure, which is closer to the end of the month, that's what the yellow resilience is for. So as you see, the yellow resiliences are still also not looking great. So it's going to be very problematic if you get to 412 and this yellow line is below 0, it's likely not to hold. So we're going to be very careful that we have to bail on this one. So this is also a little scary. As we know, resilience is a tiebreaker at half gap. Monthly resilience is a tiebreaker at yellow. And as you see, it's very weak in both NASDAQ and S&P. So the chances of even monthly holding is slightly small. Actually liking my long a little bit less, but still I'm taking the bet that because it's not just a normal market day, we have earnings that at least we're going to be somewhere in here. Not a terrible bet to make. But the hard part is 412 may not bounce. Monthly yellow line down here is showing resistance if it gets there. Lower before higher? I think so. You guys hear me eating? Oh my god, how embarrassing. I didn't bring enough for the class. I should bring a little bit more. Everyone, smash that like button while you can. Let's go ahead and do us one little bit of a favor. We're getting bigger every single day. I was more than stoked to see how quickly Rocket's been growing. It's been crazy. It's been nonstop work for us. We're about to go on a hiring spree. My head of development and I had a meeting last night to hire 3 new developers. Talk about that as we are going to be initiating some major partnerships. I'm talking magnitudes bigger than where we are, and crazy how big this is going to get really fast. So we're going to be, like I told people, pay attention to Discord. We're going to be putting out some announcements over the months for like different positions, of course, as the company grows. So if you guys do hear that and you do, just keep your resume handy. Don't send it to me now. When I make an announcement, we'll be doing some interviews and stuff. Come on, hang in there, Hedge. Uncle Eric. You know, I'd hire you for anything, man. You could just hang out with me all day. I'll pay you a salary. We'll just hang out and kick it. Like the old days. Like the old Cardinal Cash days where we just hang out on Fridays, listen to music. You guys miss Cardinal Cash? Man, I miss doing that every Friday. Hop in that stream, listen to music. Watch everybody play Power Hour. It was fun. I saw a lot of us met back in the day. Yeah, my confidence in this is not too high. But that DD at 72, DD's been coming down a little bit, but it's still high enough. If it starts falling below 6, I'll be a little nervous. 20 contract Power Hour, I know, right? Any experiences with 200 EMA and MACD? I would say that when you're using larger moving averages like that, you want to zoom out. Moving averages don't really do much on short-term time frames like minute chart, 5-minute chart. They're too delayed and too noisy to give you appropriate indication. Some of my friends that use technical analysis and utilize averages, they zoom out and they use them on broader charts. Like if you're trading above the 200, it's a very hedge fund way to look at the market. The 200-day moving average is very much used as support and resistance by the old schoolers. And so I would look like things like that, oscillators as I call them, they tend to have a little bit better visibility of the market the more you zoom out. Like intraday, I would argue that intraday, it's really hard that an oscillator cannot be noisy and hard to deal with. Not like they're bad, but it's kind of like driving something where the steering wheel just wobbles around. You have a loose tire. You're gonna get a lot of noise, a lot of false signals, a lot of great signals too. But it's just hard to drive. I would say MACD falls in the same category because it's also an EMA on a shorter period. So those, I would say, I'd utilize them on like something bigger, hourly charts, daily charts, because you're gonna get too much flip flopping throughout the day for those to be, somewhat effective on the smaller scale repeatably. When you get a good signal, when you get a great signal, it'll be great. When you get a bad signal, it'll be bad. When you get a lot of choppy signals, that'll be where the frustration, my experience, comes from. Rock Scooter's definition of built different. Oh, well, we aim to be different. It's part of the growth process. We came out the door running hot right when we launched. The remnants in our old community watched us build this on the side for years. And we launched, we got massive on social media. We got massive on YouTube because of you guys. Every day we're getting 10 to 20 new members pop up. So if you're new, feel free to say hi, subscribe to the channel, like the channel as well. Hang out with us every day. Keep it fun and interesting here. Any tickers you guys want to look at? Let me do a little ticker lightning round here. This app is the greatest thing ever. Remember the good old days, drawing everything manual on TOS. Alex remembers. Alex remembers the days when I used to stream with a spreadsheet on the screen. That even before we had the Light app, right? I used to live stream a spreadsheet with all my information on it. Oh, back in the day. BBBY, oh my God, let's go there. Let's do it. Ugh. I mean, Ty Lopez didn't rescue that company after he bought him. You guys remember all that? What he bought? Radio Shack. What else did he buy? He bought Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if this is just me, or this is like back in the day when I used to live in the burbs. You know, when you live in the burbs, usually there's a lot of shopping opportunities from chain stores like this. Usually, like, you'll go to like there's a giant parking lot with like 19 different stores connected. There's usually like a PetSmart, an Ulta, Marshall Home Goods, Bed Bath & Beyond. You know, you guys are like, oh God, he's describing my city, right? So, like, you know, when I used to live in the burbs, Bed Bath & Beyond was there. I used to love going there when I had nothing to do. I was just something magical about walking in that store and just making a giant loop, you know, like thumbing through the kitchen gadgets, going to the bed section and just like face planting on the beds that are made and just like, oh, this is a nice comforter. I don't know. And you might be like, oh, Matt, you're getting old. And I was like, no, I think I was in my 20s and I still like doing that. But I think that was it's a cool experience. You just like, it's clean. It feels so clean, I think. That's why I like it. So walk around, the floors are nice. And for something when it comes to like looking at kitchen gadgets, I always think that calms me down. It was never a bad experience, but like, you know, it's the ultimate decline of retail when people, you know, buy everything online these days. Nobody wants to go buy a bougie silicone spatula from Bed Bath & Beyond. If you're going to buy the expensive stuff, you're going to go to Williams-Sonoma. If you want to buy the cheap knockoffs, you can go to Amazon. So Bed Bath & Beyond is kind of like that. We're kind of expensive, but you still got to drive to the store. And there's probably an Ulta next door, so there's a reason for you to come out here. Or, you know, it's probably a Target a couple stores over, you know. But other than that, I think it's going to be harder and harder as years go by for them to draw on foot traffic. What I think they should do is diversify their product line, their SKUs, into more appliances. They could do like what Best Buy did. Best Buy there was a store that Best Buy in my city in Houston. There's a store next to it, I forgot what it's called, but it's like this high-end luxury appliance store that's connected to Best Buy. There's no wall between them. They're like two stores in one. And you can look at like the $10,000 refrigerators and stuff. T-Trays, what's up, man? Remember the days when Matt used to show his face? Oh, actually, these days, I should probably turn my camera back on. I'm in such a hurry because of all my all-nighters. I literally wake up and walk down here, teeth not brushed, hair not combed. I look like I just got out of a wind tunnel. So then I stopped doing the camera. But I should just, when things settle down, we're going to have like a morning show with all these big name people. We're going to get on and stream together. We're going to do all this fun stuff as we evolve. It's just my CEO duties are nonstop the last couple months. Walking in Bed Bath & Beyond and just pilling was all fun. You just had fun, just like aimlessly just walking around. I wonder what kind of new kitchen Ooh, a towel rack. Lovely. This is new, honey. Check it out. Just realized when you bought Nikes on Amazon, Nike don't sell on Amazon, so it's just like those illegal street vendors selling on Amazon. Yep. SPY hedge pusher break to the upside. Yeah, keep an eyeball on that soon. Watch out. Bed Bath & Beyond in a liquidity pocket stuck between two hedge pushers. So I'd be very careful. Well, this is a penny stock. I think he's joking because it's in the news right now. But I didn't know that the stock was absolutely worthless. Almost worthless. But let's see what the daily chart looks like. He was just joking. Wow. Ty Lopez. Come on, man. What's your strategy? What are you doing here? What'd you learn in those 10,000 books that you read in your garage with Lamborghini? What's going on? How do we save this company? What am I eating? Oh, sorry, I'm smacking in the mic, aren't I? A Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich. Now, I'm addicted to these things, but they're great. It's like high in saturated fat, probably very terrible for you. But there's enough calories in this thing to fuel you for a whole day. You eat nothing if you eat nothing else. I have to put extra slice of cheese in there because I like it being cheesy. I eat those like every day. No, that's not true, Matt. I eat them every day. Sometimes 2 a day. And before anybody says, you know, Matt, don't you have blood pressure problems? Maybe you should like watch your salt intake. I didn't come to you for medical advice. Who do you think you are? Do you like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like I'll go to the grocery store and I'll buy like the box of 20. Go buy a couple of those. I mean, shove them in the fridge. I'm in the freezer. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if resilience starts to move. Like Nasdaq is looking slightly improved, a little bit better. GameStop, AMD, we got the hedge half gap breakups. As these guys, as the meme stocks are starting to move a little higher. GameStop especially. What's GameStop worth these days? 20 bucks? As much as I love social media, what's going on in April these days? Are people still doing the things with AMC? Like, is there still like a massive community with AMC that obsesses over everything the CEO does, and they streamers with hundreds of thousands of people just talk AMC all day? Is that still a thing? I don't watch a lot of YouTube anymore. They still doing it? They still hodling? Or am I dating myself? Is that so 2021, Matt? Gosh. AMC $4. But this says intermittent fasting where it's at, it's not for everyone. I don't like to eat throughout the day. It slows me down. I used to like to get hopped up on energy drinks and caffeine, eat a Jimmy Dean, I'd be good for the day. Then I realized I was probably killing myself. So I've cut out energy drinks, by the way. I might seem a little calmer and less irritable, which is great. I've been actually, Nicole's been forcing me to go to bed earlier, which is helping. What was the company that's going to buy a mining? What was the company that was going to buy a mining company? When was this? My kidneys will love me again. Dude, I feel like I fucked up my kidneys, though. I feel like that's what happened. I feel like I was just chugging so many energy drinks. I was starting to get real weird and spacey. I was like, all right. I think I've hit my limit where I'm poisoning myself at this point. Let me go ahead and calm down on this one. Mac. How's Ape doing? LOL. That's the ETF, right? AMC at $5. Ugh. Oh. It's $1.50. Let's load up on this thing. Is this is this just for GameStop? What is this? Is this an ETF? I mean for AMC. I forgot what Ape was. It's been a while. How's my other trade doing? And $2,000 on the 10K account. Again, if I should just take some profit and call it. Well, let's go ahead and analyze really quick. Let me get back to being serious. Market is starting to move. Let's take a look at what we do have. Hedge pusher break on SPY. We do have the red. We're going to do a little patch that is going to say up or down here. Breaking hedge, hitting half gap with resilience being negative. So I'm going to be very careful here. Like I said, DD is always going to produce some upward momentum. As long as the stocks aren't selling off, DD wants to connect with 415. So I'm not too worried about that. I was worried that we were going to fall lower and interact with the monthly hedge. And right now, with monthly hedge resilience pushing up, we have some monthly hedge pressure breaks. So let's go ahead and monitor them. What I love about Rocket Scooter, if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you go to our extended trial. There's a link in the description. You can get a $35 a month subscription, which includes your data feeds for our $200 a month package. It is phenomenal. You guys will be able to join this group. We're about to round off on our 4,000th user account since we launched a year ago. It's massive. The growth rate we're achieving by the end of the summer, we will hit 10,000. So you guys have been supporting us like crazy. We love it. We love you guys. So join this viral community. Some of these things we've been working on are just massive. Okay, distance from monthly hedge pressure. Let's look at it. I'll show you guys how to do all this part of the thing as well. GLD, Goldman Sachs. Let's take a look at that. So did I do monthly hedge pressure break up? Okay. So stocks that are breaking through monthly hedge pressure are going to be the reason that monthly hedge pressure resilience is saving us up. And both of them are good, which does mean even with the delay, I don't expect monthly hedge pressure to break if we do fall to it. Again, we'll have to see because it was trying to break when we were a little bit lower, but there are stocks right on the edge trying to save themselves going into monthly expiration. Looking for some big heavy hitters here. It's even Tesla's holding. That's good too. We're trying to report in 20. Oh, yep. Thank you. Oh, wait, no, today is Wednesday. I'm thinking it's here. I said tomorrow was monthly. Today is Wednesday. See, I can lose track of what day it is sometimes. EIA report in 18 minutes. Let's pre-prep for that. Let's see what the XLE is doing. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay. BLD on monthly hedge. So, you know, there could be support down in here. Obviously, you have this liquidity map. Pull it up. Show what BLD looks like. BLD, anytime you open above monthly hedge, open, yellow, open, that V shape there. You have that open, yellow. It could re-tap that open again. There are tiny scalp potential from here to here. There's a scalp potential between these two like that. QQQ for monthly map. Let's go. Okay. Vape gave you pulmonary embolism. Oh my God, dude. Really? Ugh. That does not sound fun. I never got into vaping. I was never into, when I was younger, I smoked a little bit, like I'm talking like a kid. But I never liked smoking. I liked edibles instead of smoking because I hated like my lungs feeling all gummy. So I never got into smoking anything. Smoking was like, because I always was, I work out all the time. I'm like a fitness nut. So I always hated the idea of like coughing on my lung every time I run a couple miles. Okay, let's take a look at the monthly maps on QQQ especially, right? You can see that we have liquidation going. The market's becoming less liquid. Bears are exiting now. Bulls are exiting going into monthly, which is Friday. You see that this is monthly. So the visibility after that is that you have kind of like a stable, non-bullish, non-bearish effect going into, you know, essentially the bull side strengthens for a little bit and stays flat. The bear side weakens for a little bit and then comes back. So we're going to have like maybe a flat-ish QQQ, which is kind of a testament to say that people are losing their confidence, a little bit of that confidence in that bull side going into earnings. I'm up 3K in the other account. Let me just take that profit. Okay, I'm sorry, 2,400. 2,400 in the 10K account. I'm just going to take that profit, really, to be honest. Resilience is giving me a lot that I want. I'm just going to close everything out to just kind of call it unless something changes. I'm not feeling confident. I'm just feeling lucky. So I'm going to close everything. Let's kind of get out of here. Whatever. I don't see all the signals I want to see. So yeah, I don't like it either. Who here lives in Houston, by the way? We're gonna have in our Discord, we have like a thing that you can add roles, and we have like a Texas role. And we have Houston meetups role. So we're gonna start doing meetups. If you guys are from Houston and want to hang out sometime with the groups. Or maybe in like trader meetups, trader trips, rocket scooter events. Every year Tradezone Matt does a thing. He always invites us to that. We always head out there to their event. It's also in Texas. This time it's in Las Vegas. Any Miami people? Ralph, we'll be in Miami in May for the Bitcoin conference. Like last year I went to the conference itself. This year I'm not going to the conference. I'm just going to the parties. So I'll tell you, Bitcoin conference is the wildest professional event I've ever been to. That is, at least last year it was. Like when I was in oil and gas, OTC, it was kind of mildly wild. It was, but it's oil and gas wild. It wasn't that crazy. At the Bitcoin conference, the Winklevoss twins from the Facebook saga hosted a party in their mansion. You could only show up via yacht, and Zed was spinning in the living room. This is what Bitcoin conference was like when they had fuck you money. So you had all of the celebrities showing up on boats, hopping off and going to that party. And a couple of my friends were there. And I was like, how did y'all get in? They're like, oh, they had this huge saga. Oh, we knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody. So it'll be a fun like event to hang out with all the FinTwit people. That's why I like to go. Just hang out with all your friends or all the people you follow on Twitter. Usually all will be there. They will all be there. So we all meet up and just chill, explore Miami, have fun. We would go out and spend the whole day together. Like one day, me and the Trend Spider folks and Jake and Blonde Broker and Trading Chick, we all went to have Cuban food right on the beach. And then the next day, me and Wolf Financial and Stock Market News, we all went to this lounge and got bottle service. It was just like such a cool event just to hang out with all the people you basically see every day and follow on Twitter every day. And everybody goes to that. So not because it's Bitcoin, but because everyone goes because everyone goes. Just they all go to kind of just meet up and see each other. And Miami's a hella fun town, so we always love to go. I'll have Roxy to me up. Roxy is actually going to host a yearly conference. We were talking about this starting next year, especially with our new partnerships that we might. Can you guys hear my kitty cat? I honestly just like to go to network and meet people. There's nothing more important, especially being like the new kid on the block when it comes to the technology groups. I have to say I'm very fortunate. I always believe Wall Street to be such a horrible, cutthroat, dog-eat-dog world. And I don't know if we're different or just people are actually nice, because I was almost welcomed with open arms universally by all my competitors. When they were like, oh, you have a competing technology. It wasn't like, oh, well, fuck this guy. They probably say that secretly behind the scenes. Okay, we got to compete with this guy. But like meeting people, they were like, oh, dude. Like, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm the second command at Black Box Stocks. Oh, cool. Man, we heard a lot about you, Matt. Yeah, I mean, you guys are killing it. Y'all are making some great stuff over there. And I was like, wow, everyone in finance is actually really cool. And I was completely blown away, especially at Bitcoin. I met everybody. They were just like, oh, yeah, we heard about you guys. And y'all are making something cool. We hadn't launched it yet. And they're like, yeah, we heard through this person, heard through this person. It was all like the CEOs and stuff were there. And it was just such an interesting world, meeting all the people and seeing how actually, like, I guess because we only see like the cesspool part of Twitter, where like the Zach Morris world, where it's all kind of toxic and whatever. But I'm going to tell you, like, everyone was just, I was so surprised how super chill everybody was. Like, first time I met the CEO of StockTwits, she's like, oh, nice to meet you. He's like, yeah, let me buy you a drink, man. What are you drinking? I was like, we just sat there and just talked finance. And it was kind of a, hold on. Our cat snuck in. So that's why I love going, because just meeting like so many cool people, it's like one after the other. It's like meeting so many cool. Now, a lot of it was all crypto people, and I didn't know any of the crypto people. But some of my friends were like showing me around, like, oh, this is this company, this is this company. Hello. Hello, Fuki. That's our kitty cat broke through. A little jailbreaker here. Can y'all actually can hear him meowing, can't you? On the Spaces, Adam yesterday he was like, what are you guys doing to your cat? I was like, no, he's just that needy. we're ignoring him for 5 minutes, and he's like, meow, meow, meow. So the RS meetups, we were talking that we're going to start doing a yearly kind of like you remember the FinTwit conference they tried to host, and it kind of fell apart. I don't think they're doing anymore. I'll just kind of give you guys a little hint there. We're picking it back up with a couple other companies, and we're going to be sponsoring the biggest yearly day trading conference. Hopefully in the world when we get big. But it's a bunch of big name people. They're all going to get together, and it's going to be hosted by Rocket Scooter, sponsored by Rocket Scooter. But we also will be hosts of the event as well. And so we're going to start doing like a yearly conference somewhere cool. It'll be like half work, half play. So we'll always have events and fun things, giant conference hall. We've been talking about it for a year, kind of throwing ideas down. And this year we're going to start anchoring things up and checking prices and looking for stuff for maybe summer 2024. Hey, kitty cat. Like Fire Festival. Fire Festival. Billy McFarland's out of jail now, and Fire Festival Part 2 is happening. Did you guys see that? I'm like, ugh. Do y'all see that on that Theo saw it? Yeah, I literally, somebody he's like, hey guys, I'm back, and guess what? Fire Festival 2 is happening, and I was like, all right. Don't forget, pack light, pack loaves of bread, pack essentials to survive. Get a flashlight. Make sure you take, weapons for protection, because Fire Festival is, that turned into a complete shit show. But but maybe they'll do it right this time. I mean, honestly, it's real popular. I bet you people will go just to say they could go, even if they know it could be possibly a horrible experience. I bet you it won't be, and I bet you a lot of people will go just because they can say, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I went to Fire Festival too. I'm not a little bitch." Actually, the way I'm talking about it now, I'm like, we should go to Fire Festival Part 2. That'd be fun. Rough it in the elements, whatever. I'll be fine. Come here, kitty cat. Urgh. Now, who knows if it's actually happening? If you know that guy, he's the guy of over-promising stuff, so he could just be hyping an idea rather than actually planning the event. But if you guys watched the whole documentary on it, his whole shtick was he's really good at hyping stuff. So, oh no, you don't want to sit with me, kitty cat? All right. You know he doesn't like me as much as he likes you. If you guys come to the conference we're gonna host, it's gonna be like an event, not just like you walking from table to table and talking to vendors and whatever. It's gonna be like an event where half of it's, you get to go. People host seminars. It'll be like a fun event, not just people going up there and talking markets. A lot of it'll be like that, but it'll be talking like everything related to trading. Like the ideas I have are to make it really worth your time and not just you going there taking notes from a bunch of trading vendors. We'll do like big events, like a big party, like to wrap it up. We've been kind of spin out ideas with our other partners who are going to do it for about a year now. And it'd be fun to do it somewhere. Probably the first one to be somewhere central, like Dallas, maybe. We might rotate to different cities just to make it fun. I better take some Jimmy Deans. Yeah, like what'd you pack in your luggage there? And you open it up and there's like 16 Jimmy Deans fall out. That's like that. It's like that episode of Seinfeld where Kramer had that job that he didn't really have, and he carried that briefcase everywhere, and they're like, Kramer, what's in the briefcase? And he opened it up, and it was just full of Ritz crackers, like he dumped the box into it. He just starts eating the crackers. Boat races and beer pong. Yeah, it'll be like fun stuff. Wolf of Wall Street style parties, You know how it goes. We'll have some you know, live tigers and lions just roaming through the party. Random explosions everywhere just to make like pyrotechnics. Yep, it's gonna be insane. Just kidding. You're going to EDC Vegas next month? Can't wait. Dude, nice, nice. We're skipping EDC this year. Or we are going to Hangout Fest in Alabama, and we are going to Lollapalooza. So those are our two bigger ones. You waxed me beer pong, bro. I honestly, I used to be pretty good at ping pong and beer pong, but I will say pretty good was relative. You probably would smoke me in both. Jamie Deem and Jim Bean. Those deadlines are killing me, literally. Okay. Travis, like, I'm old. That sounds like no fun to me. We're gonna sit around and smoke cigars and play poker and drink beer. That sounds like my idea of a good time, actually. Jimmy Dean, name it the Jimmy Deans. If I was to make a 1890s barbershop quartet, I'd call it the Jimmy Deans. Isn't there a band called the LeVar Burtons? You know, the Reading Rainbow guy? So you can remember that. I think that was actually a thing. Maybe it was a, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was a real band or a parody band that I saw called the LeVar Burtons, but they all dress like him from different things. Like they dress like him from Star Trek. They dress like him from Reading Rainbow. And I think they covered 80s music. $500 rummy. I could play some rummy. Beer, you in, beer run. Let's go. BEERUN. Are you in, bro? The more you know. But you don't have to take my word for it. Monthly maps, still looking at this. I probably should hold on for a little longer, but it is earnings and things are coming crazy. This is again, this ETF account a little bit. Here's the other, here's the 10K account, 2,300 bucks on that. Same trade, just bigger spot. I got a couple of things here. What's up? What's up? I got a bunch of meetings today, so let's kick it over in Zoom. We'll take an hour break. I want you guys to head on over there. If you haven't signed up for the extended trial, it's good to check it out. We'll do a class on monthly maps today. I've been waiting for there to be like a decent monthly map setup just to kind of show. I think it'd be better to actually detail after monthly expiration because you get visibility of a whole month instead of a couple of days of visibility, at least on the short term. It's going to be very rapidly changing. As you see with SPY, the bull side is weakening, the bear side is disintegrating over the course of the next couple of days. So these two things together are very strong. The Jimmy Deans will headline Sausage Fest 2024. So if we had a trading conference, we would the Jimmy Deans trading conference, it would be called Sausage Fest, like on social media. Literally, beer and sausage. On the 10K account, between 5 and 10, depending on how confident I am. On the low side, 3 to 5. It's right at 50K, so that's about 5-ish contracts for my equation that I use. Oh, so by the way, I'm halfway to the 100K. Somebody was like, why isn't the guy stream his 10K account anymore? Did he blow it up? I was like, oh shit, my bad. I forgot to post it. Posted it up and I was like, oh yeah, it's at 40K now. Oops. See, like most of these fakey fake gurus out there don't even trade. Listen, I will trade I hate to say this because I'm normally pretty modest. I will trade circles around any motherfucker on social media. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really good. I will. If anyone ever wants to step up, I'd love to have a head-to-head for charity or whatever. Not only will I beat some, I will trade circles around them. You guys watch me do it for years. These people come in here, this guy must have blown up his account. I wonder where it is. And I'm like, oh, they don't even post when they win. I mean, they don't even post when they lose. They only post when they win. I forget to post when I win because I win so fucking much. I'm like, oh, oops, here it is. It's at 40K now. My bad. Ugh. I was like, no shenanigans. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to go out there and blast on social media the last 20K I made. Oops, my bad. I just forgot. I didn't need to use it for marketing purposes. I forget to even post my wins because I forget stuff. I was like, oh, oops, that's right. I'm not like my first $100 or $1,000 I make and it goes on social media. I gotta everybody retweet. Check how awesome I am. Look how much money I made today. I went for like weeks forgetting to say something about it. I was like, oh yeah, because I was so focused on this and throwing monthly maps out in meetings, and it was like, oh shit, oops. But seriously though, I was like, my bad, I forgot. I mean, Milwaukee's every weekend. I know, right? Like seriously, honestly, I would die if I lived in a place where every weekend was like a festival with just beer, sausage. I literally, that's my daily routine. Jimmy Dean in the morning, some kind of edible at night with a drink. Sometimes wine. I've been like, it's weird. I've been changing my taste. Usually I drink like whiskey. Theo knows I drink whiskey. I appreciate it. They got me that bottle of Whistle Pig a long time ago, and I still have a quarter of it left. I sip on that thing when I'm having a really, really lovely day. That's like one of my favorite bottles that I own, actually. And so I moved to like doing a little bit of tequila. Like I'd have like one drink with dinner. Now I'm actually drinking wine. I'm actually drinking red Zinfandels. For some reason, I don't know, my tastes are just changing. I say never drink wine, and Nicole loves wine, so she kind of got me into it. So now every night is every morning it's a Jimmy Dean, every night's a glass of wine now. When will I start sharing the 10K on the screen or on the ETF account? 45 days. 45 days of ETF. I committed to showing the entire payout process until it goes live. So the goal was to, now again, as you see, I'm under the starting balance, so this is a scary time. This is great because you guys get to see me try to navigate out to build it back up. So I had a couple of risky trading days I took, and I just closed out. Better safe than sorry. You have to have your first trading day in these funded accounts on the static drawdown as your home run day. You have to build some buffer, or else you get stuck like this, having to inch your way out. So I'm waiting for like a day when all the signals line up. I'm going to hit it hard and just put some buffer in the account to trade it small. They have a 45-day payout schedule, so I was going to commit to showing that. The whole goal was to film me earning the accounts. So if you guys don't remember, I did 3 of them back to back, 2 150s and a 250. I ended up earning $550,000 worth of funded accounts from these guys. And I kept just this one just to do it, to detail. Like the video would be, how do you get 100K as a trader with $100 in your pocket? And the steps are, these are the steps. You sign up for a trader funding program. These things aren't for longevity, right? Who wants to trade on a fucking 1099. Nobody does. It completely eliminates all the tax benefits of futures. But it's good to give you a lump of cash in your pocket. That's why I'm not out there trading 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 of these accounts. Uncle Sam's going to take most of your money. The prop firm's going to take 20%. Uncle Sam's going to take 40. You're left with 40% of your gains. Who wants to deal with that? Nobody. But if you don't have money, you're getting started, it's the best way to get something. If you can't go borrow 5 or 10K from your mom or your friends, you can earn it with a couple $100 a month if you are really good. Go out there and make 5, 10K very quickly and fund an account, and then start your bankroll from there and trade it to 100. So I'm doing it all in reverse order, but if you guys have just revealed the whole reason I'm doing this, I'm going to be the first trader on YouTube to document the entire process. And show the broker statement with it, right? Elite trader funding, earn the funded account. I did it twice just to prove it wasn't a fluke. To show, look, I did it, and then I was like, okay, let me do it again. And then I did it again, and 5 days later, won it again. So the video will be like, here's that process. Here's what I did to get some funding, to withdraw 5, 10K from it. And then I have the video footage from the 10K account that I started in the broker statement to go to 100. So I'm kind of doing it in reverse order, but to show each of the pieces. And that is how you would build an actual trading bankroll. There's no cheaper, less risk way to do it. If you borrow money, you got to pay it back when you blow up. You do these funded accounts, you don't lose anything. You lose their money. You lose your monthly fees. And that's exactly how anybody should do it. Anybody that gets on the trading should do exactly this to get started. It trains you. You're paper trading. You're not taking much risk. You pay a monthly fee. You can earn it. This account that pays out, you can earn it in 5 days. As long as you're good and you keep it. Like, I'm having some bad trades, clearly, but I'm very, very careful about my first couple trades to get that buffer in there. If I get this account to 160 or whatever, they'll pay out portions of that over a 45-day period. So even if I didn't go to the live, you could just keep that little bit of money. Now, you'd have to pay taxes on it, clearly. Keep that in mind. But there's your bankroll to continue trading. Move it to your own account. Trade with your own money. How do I set my size? Jason, are you in the Rocket Scooter program? I have videos in chapter 7, I believe. 6. No, wait, hold on. 5. To talk about this. There's a video that I did that shows how I made the spreadsheet to calculate the position size. It's a very, very, very good video. There's a magic trick to how much you trade. Not magic trick, it's math. A mathic trick. You maintain that it depends on what kind of account you have. There's 3 different kinds of accounts across the board in these funded trader programs. You have a static drawdown, which is a fixed loss you can't go below. You have a trailing drawdown off of the mark of the end of the day, previous day, or you have a trailing drawdown off the mark of the high of your last trade, including the high when the position's open. That's like 3 asterisk. All these companies say, well, we do it differently. They all do it 3 fucking ways. That's it. That's it. None of them are any different on those regards. Minor differences beyond that. You either have a static drawdown or a trailing drawdown. The trailing drawdown is marked in different places. So is it marked on the high of yesterday, like the end of day drawdown with ETF, which allows you to capitalize on that further buffer of a winning trade in the morning? Okay. Or if it's marked off the high of the day, which I think Top Step is like that. If your drawdown is 3K and you make 2K and lose 3K, you only lost 1,000 for the day, but you also blew up. So you have to be careful understanding how they work. And then when you find out there's only like kind of like 3 different major ways to do it with minor tweaks, I created 3 different types of spreadsheets to calculate a position to either hit one of the 2 targets. So the first thing you do every morning or in your spreadsheet is calculate how much your mark is while in an open position to blow up the account. Okay, you need to know that every morning. Calculate the position size is a trick. We use the risk interval as a trick, which is part of the DD bands conversation. You guys know how that works. I make sure that if the market spontaneously moves in a risk interval, my loss of my position does not exceed the amount to blow up the account that day. So if a risk interval loses 500, I'll make up a number, loses $500 a risk interval per contract, and my mark is $1,500, then I won't go above 3. That's so in case the market spontaneously erupts on a catalyst, usually drops about a risk interval. I need enough buffer in the account so that doesn't nuke me. I'm not going to trade myself to 0. It'd be very rare for me to whittle this account down to blow up. I have an 80% win rate sometimes. This one I'm trading about 74, I think, in the 10K. Yeah, 74, something like that. So I don't like go on large losing streaks. My losses are typically like I would lose big in a day. So I would have to make sure I don't lose big on a bad day. So I make sure my position size is set to that amount. If that makes any sense, Jason. What funding company do I recommend? I don't recommend any of them right now. I'll be honest with you. I hear a lot of stories about that industry, you know, not being consistent with payouts. So I'm going to go through and I'll do an honest review at the end of my journey, and I'll let you know if I recommend anybody. Just to be fair, I'm using ETF right now, and I have a bunch of friends that work at the company. I'm sure they're a great, honest, reputable company. So if I request a paycheck and they give it to me that day, then I might start recommending them, right? If I've heard stories from people with other companies, not naming names, request a payout and they get a runaround for a couple months till they get paid out. You know, the company's having cash flow issues. Clearly, these aren't real trading accounts. Even the funded ones, they pay out of pocket. Now, again, which means they're susceptible to their own cash availability and cash flow and funded issues on their own side. They may just have a day where a lot of people make money, which is why these companies invented these windfall rules that your biggest win can't be more than 40% of your pot, or else you have to delay the payout. You know why? That's because if everybody goes out there and YOLO trades and gets lucky on a catalyst, they won't have the cash flow to cover it. I understand how these business models work. I'm a businessman myself. So you need to make sure that they clearly pay out before I recommend any of them. That's the only one I'm doing, so I can't. I'd have to do a couple more and put them side by side and just honestly review my experience. With ETF, so far, so good. I've had no problems with them. Very responsive, very good. Customer service is great. I love everybody that works there. So to this point, no complaints. Very affordable. The static drawdown's pretty easy to pass, the easiest of the 5 that they have. And so, but I wouldn't, I personally, you know my rule. It's to be fair. And you have to respect it. My rule is I don't rep it unless I've tried it. I don't say I like it unless I've proven it. I don't even give you a rule in Rocket Scooter unless I've traded it with my own money. My word is so important. My integrity is so important. I would feel like the worst person in the world if I said, hey, go check it out with this company. If some shenanigans ever took place, you would look at me and be like, well, you said it was cool. So I got to prove it myself first. That's just engineer. That's how I was born. Seeing instead of believing. So that's why I'm committing to the experience so that I can actually say, is this possible? You guys want to take $500 to 100K? This is how I did it. And then I say, this is exactly what I did. I put in this request. I got the payout, put the cash in, did it again. Here's where I funded the 10K. You know, it's just something like that. So when I do finally get to the final steps and the process is clean and you know, they take good care of the process and it's good, then I'll come through and I'll be able to recommend specific companies. So far, so good. I have like no complaints with them. So. But I have no complaints. ETF's been great. So far, so good. I've never heard any complaints about them, so that's why I picked them. The ones that people have like complained about, I've avoided them. And again, it's not my prerogative to throw any shade at anybody, but yeah, you have to do your own diligence, and like I said, Google's your best friend. To find out, customers' experience with some of these. Only took a few days from ETF. Oh, that's badass. Yeah, like I said, when I was like, which one of these are good? Half the people were like, they were between Top Step. Some people used Apex, and then the other half used ETF. And I had some friends that work at ETF, so I was like, I'll try ETF. Check it out. But after I get to the ability to fund 10K from this, then I'm probably never going to do one again. It's just for the process, for the education part of it. So monthly maps, really cool. SPY bear side is absolutely deteriorating. I love to see that. Monthly maps are the best, biggest, coolest thing we've invented. They look so far into the future of up to 6 weeks, as long as you have options that are available. Weekly options especially useful for forecasting future risk. Look at the SPY, right? That bull side, bulls want to buy lower. That bull side is very strong up into the Fed meeting. The bear side is deteriorating into the Fed meeting. We know the Fed is probably going to 0 rate hikes. They're going to completely taper off to 0. Look, the bears are just deteriorating. The bear side is getting lower and lower and lower, and the market's becoming more volatile as well, leading into the Fed announcement. Be very cautious on that. Now, earnings, like I said, I feel like leading up into major earnings, I'm just taking a few scalps. Like, I didn't really do too much today. I longed out the door betting on that DD thing, but we know how those DD trades play out. They take pretty much all day to work. I was betting on a hedge break. Like I said, my entire trade plan took off like I thought. I took a small position here. I would have doubled down right here. I was kind of nervous because monthly hedge resilience was less than 0. So I would have kind of put a really tight stop on the other side of monthly just in case it collapsed. And then, of course, right out the door, SPY did attempt to break hedge pressure, which pushed us higher. Clearly, we know that with the resiliences are negative, half gap is the resistance. So closing out when I did, perfectly executed. I couldn't have traded any better than that. Did get in a little early. That's probably my 1 week spot on that, but I would have doubled down there and made the same trade. Resilience being negative just shows that half gap is resistance, which we said. If somehow I was holding something and it did this, I would at least close out until res was positive, and a positive res for the rest of the day. Anytime I'm going to watch, we get a positive res, I don't care where it is, I'm going to long it for trade number 2 to the bull zone because DD is positive. This is textbook rock scooter, guys. This is so easy today. Can't even tell you. We talked about yesterday the ranking. DD outranks resilience, outranks liquidity map. DD is going to just have that draw to want to push the market to the bull side at some point. So while it was trying to resist hedge pressure, DD ultimately wins. And resilience, showing what this is showing, it's going to show area of resistance along the way. So market's going to love this area here. This isn't a signal for me to short. Ultimately, I think the short's going to lose as the day goes by, but there could be a short scalp in this from here. I like to say whenever you're trading around earnings, you're just kind of being a little... Don't be too greedy. Markets don't want to rally before major earnings. This is something I just tell you happens. You got to be careful. Take what you can get. Again, it's still a bear market. Love it. Okay, everybody head over to the Discord. Go. I'm going to call it. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Actually, I have 4 meetings now. 4 major meetings today. I'm going to be pretty busy, but in an hour we'll get together and do a Zoom call like we did, go over some stuff, train you guys on everything. Be sure to head over to that description below. Click the extended trial right now for $35 a month rocket scooter. Comes with your data feeds. 2 trading communities, swing trading, day trading, investing, futures, options, stocks. We got the whole thing. 2 really awesome teachers. And of course, One of the biggest trading communities on the planet. Have been growing like wildfire. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I can't wait to show you what we're building right now. I can't even talk about it, but this is awesome. By the summertime, you're gonna see one of the biggest things you've ever seen in trading platforms. Both show. So come on over, hit up the Discord. We'll start that class in a little bit. If you have any questions, send me a message. We're always here every day, all day. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you later.